say?
That's why the Bible is redundant. The Lord says things over and over because we're stiff-necked, hard-headed people. Read that.
We come together, our people. We come together, the Lord's sheep of the house of Israel.
Calm down and listen to one another. And more importantly, listen to this Bible, right? Okay, that's it.
But in this last day, the Most High is raising up the true prophets of God.
All great. All great. We're going to find out what's the way. Remember, the Bible is also a vocabulary book.
That's the question I'm asking. If nation is so great, like the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that has God so nigh unto them.
The laws of God is the light that we gotta let shine before men.
There is a devil on earth. It's a so-called white man.
That's right.
It's a so-called white man.
That's right.
Give me that in Job 9:24, then we're going to go back to that.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given what?
Into the hand of the wicked.
So like we said earlier, the so-called white man is the one that dictates when this light is going to turn green, yellow, or red. The white man says, look, this is when you can cross the street, if not, you're going to jaywalk. He designs all of these things. He got the cameras up here watching everybody. You understand what I'm saying? The white man controls everything. It's been given into his hand. Why? Because we broke God's... Listen, we were supposed to be ruling the earth. We were supposed to be ruling the earth. But we lost that inheritance. God gave us laws to keep. We didn't keep them. So we said, you know what? I'm going to use these enemies to triumph over you. You want to go to them in the one of all things. You want a job? You got to go to the white man who's your enemy. You want education? You got to go to the white man who owns that. You got to learn his education. You don't want to learn my knowledge. You want to go to him to learn. Exactly. That's your God. Read.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So God says that he covers the faces of the judges. Who's supposed to be the judges? We the judges. We supposed to be the ones judging this earth in righteousness. But you know what we do? We judge a brother based on how he look. Oh, he ain't fly to me. We judge a brother on how much money he got. Oh no, he ain't making money like me. That's what we tend to judge on carnally. But that ain't nothing with God. So the white man covers our face. He puts a spiritual blindfold on us for us not to realize who we are. Give me, is that it?
If not, where and who is he?
And if it ain't him, who is it then? Is it the Chinese man that's doing all this? Is it the Arab man that's doing it? No, give me that Malachi 1:4. Let's get some more on this devil. Who is the devil?
The book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished.
So now the Bible is defining a certain nation of people. It says where Edom says. Who is Edom? You know James? Who the Edomites are? Your name Frank, right? What is it? Stan. Okay, James, Stan, Will, Wayne. James, Stan, and Wayne. Read that again.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished.
Do you know who Edom is? Okay, we gonna touch on that. Just stay with me, all right? I'm gonna bring it all home to you.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
So this Edomite says that they have been impoverished, but they're gonna come back and build the desolate places. Now think about historically, because that's one thing we don't like to do is learn history. In 1453, we had what's called the Renaissance age, where a certain nation of people who were Edomites came back into rulership in 1453. Now prior, meaning before 1453, before that date, that was what's called the Dark Ages. Does anybody know what the Dark Ages is? You heard of it? Now think about the term, the Dark Ages. Nah, it wasn't a dark year. It was what? That was the time where we ruled, black people. We ruled for thousands of years. We ruled on this earth. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they call it the Dark Ages. But when the white man came back into power from 1453, he said that what?
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
The what?
The border of wickedness.
So God says that the Edomites is the beginning. The border means beginning. The beginning of wickedness. Look at all the sin that just goes around out here. This is all conducted and promoted by the white man. So in all actuality, who is the devil? It's the so-called white man. It simply means, the devil means to deceive. Who deceives you to think that same-sex marriage is okay? Who deceives you to think that smoking is okay? Who deceives you to think that you can steal?
Bring it up.
Who deceives you to think that you can do whatever you want to do and you're going to be okay? That's deception. That's the devil's job.
Right.
To deceive you. So yes, the devil is a real person, and it is the so-called white man. I'm going to just tell you straight.
And he's done a good job on it.
All right. Okay, brother. Hey, look, check that fly out. If you got any questions, there's a number on the back. We also got a school that's going to open up soon up in Baltimore for Righteousness. So every Sabbath, which is like today, brothers, y'all got to get out here and congregate. It's a law that y'all got to keep as far as congregating on the Sabbath day. But check that fly out, all right? So let's finish with this Edomite, all right? Is that it on that?
The border of wickedness and the people.
And the what?
And the people.
So this Edomite is a people, read.
Against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So it said that this Edomite, God has indignation forever. What does the word indignation mean? It means a great perpetual hatred. God has a great hatred for this Edomite. So let's get to it. Give me Genesis. What you got? No. Give me Genesis 25. So let's learn about Esau. Let's see where the devil all began at. Let's read it. Genesis 25.
The book of Genesis 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
So we need to be able to see things. We're visual people, right? So as we're reading this, it says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Today, who's a red and hairy people? The so-called white man, right? This is what we're reading. The word Genesis means the beginning. This is the beginning of the so-called white race. Biblically, they're called Edomites. Read.
And after that came his brother out.
So Sarah was having twins in the womb, right? First one came out red all over like a hairy garment. They called his name Esau. Then his brother came out. That's this right here. They were twins in the womb, right?
And his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called what?
And his name was called Jacob.
So it says his name was called Jacob. Now what did they do with this image that they didn't do with this image? What did they do? They gave a what? A description, right? He was red all over like a hairy garment. But when Jacob was born, his name was called Jacob, and then that was it. Why didn't they describe the second one? Why didn't they describe Jacob? Huh? Right, because he was black. He looked like everybody else. This was the first incident that took place where it was something different that we never seen before. So they documented it in the scriptures. All right? So this is the beginning of the so-called white man. He's an Edomite. Read on.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
And his name was what?
And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
So now it's giving you characteristics of Esau. It says as they grew up, it says that Esau was a cunning hunter. Now think about it. I remember when I was a kid growing up, I always would see it on the outdoor channel. Who would you always see in army fatigue, posted up in the woods, up on ladders, hunting? Who be doing that? The white man. They be hunting what? Deers, turkeys, geese. They do all those things, right? Read.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
So it showed you the characteristics of Esau, which lives today. Because we know today that's what white people like to do. Read.
A man of the field.
A man of the field.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
So it says now Jacob was what? A plain man dwelling in tents. Meaning what? You know how it is for us brothers. We like to chill in the house. We got a long day. We want to get home. We want to kick our feet up. We want to chill. We want to chill in the tent. That's right. And in other words, you like to chill in the house. You understand? Those are characteristic traits that we got to pay attention to because this is our history. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
So from that, give me what is it? Second entrance? I think it's 6 and I think 8. You got a question, brother? But did that answer your question, brother? As far as okay, check it out, bro. We on YouTube, all right? Don't forget. IUIC. Search YouTube on your phone. If you want right now, you can pull your phone up, type in IUIC on YouTube. What's your question, bro?
So I'm from I'm East African. Right?
East African?
Yeah. So my oral history say this is my grandfather and my uncle and shit. They taught me all this shit. They're like when the Romans came in, he got a coin from the days of Rome, gold coin.
Okay.
When the Romans took over North Africa, he said they killed the fathers and the oldest sons and they raped the women.
The Romans raped the what women?
Raped the women, the African women.
Okay.
My ancestors.
Okay.
And that's how we got light and curly hair, pointy nose. But originally we Kenyan. Originally we Kenyan. All Arabs of North Africa originally Kenyan. But Alexander came down, and when he took the library, took the city of Egypt, called it Alexandria after him.
First Maccabees.
They killed the oldest sons and the fathers, and they raped the women.
Okay.
Now, 50 years later, they was chased out by the mixed kids. They rape babies.
Okay.
Are who the ones that take the Romans out. I was just telling him about that. Like,
so.
But they took the whole Africa because they turned us against each other. They convinced us that we different from our darker skinned brothers, and they turned us against each other.
So do you feel like you descend from the 12 tribes of Israel, or do you feel like you're more Arab?
We related to them.
Okay.
We're cousins. Yeah.
Give me
I got like Hebrew brothers out there. I met Hebrew brothers out there. It's Jews out there, real Jews out there.
Real Jews out where?
Out there, back home, Djibouti.
In Africa or
Yemen, Egypt.
Okay. Now I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad you said that. Now listen to what the Bible says when you read Isaiah 11. Because when you look at this sign, right? You look at all these tribes, but when you look at the very bottom, it says what? Scattered abroad, right? So we have brothers and sisters amongst these various parts of the world that could be a descendant of Israel. But it's all in how your spirit... Right, but here's the thing. Your spirit just got a bad witness. Read Isaiah 11 and 11.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time.
So the second time is going into what? That's when Christ comes back. Okay, his second appearance, which is soon to come. When Christ comes back, right? Read.
To recover the remnant of
what?
The remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria.
So where's our brothers going to be scattered at?
Shall be left from Assyria. And from Egypt.
And from where?
And from Egypt.
So where's Egypt? Egypt is in what? In Africa, right? Read.
And from Pathros. And from Cush.
And from what?
And from Cush. And from Elam. And from Shinar. And from Hamath. And from the islands of the sea.
So it's showing you that what? We're still going to have a various brothers and sisters that's going to be scattered aside from North, Central, and South America.
What are those other lands? Do you know where those regions are? The other lands he named?
So you got to go through the Bible dictionary to name them, but I know something like Cush. Like Cush is in the land of Canaan.
Right.
Yeah, Ethiopia, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So long story short, if your spirit bear witness to what's going on, that your ancestors being slaves, give me Romans 8 and 16. If your spirit bears witness that what? These are your ancestors that the Bible talks about, then you could be Israelite. that could be scattered abroad. So you think what you got to focus on is what? You got to keep the commandments. But it's all that how your spirit bear witness to this. Read that.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
So we bear witness by what? The things that's documented in the scriptures. When you read Deuteronomy 28 about slavery, us going into slave ships, our people having yokes of iron on their neck, being sold into captivity, poverty in a impoverished state today. Guess what? We identify. That's us bearing witness and say, you know what? That happened to my people. I'm a descendant of that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all it boils down to, bro. Read on.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ. If so, be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
So what you gotta understand, when you take this walk, guess what? It's gonna be suffering. You're gonna have to sacrifice things. It's not gonna be an easy walk. You're gonna go through things. But that's God trying to mold you to be the man he wants you to be. You had a question, brother? How you doing, brother? What's your name? Benjamin? That's a strong name. Okay, what's your question, brother?
Where the Peking man come from?
The what man?
Peking man.
The PK man?
The Peking man.
The Peking man?
Yeah, the Chinese. The
Hey,
Chinese.
tell him out. What are you saying, bro?
The Chinese man.
Oh, the Chinese man? Okay.
Peking man.
Give me that in Genesis about Ammon and with his daughters. So biblically, the so-called Chinese man and the Japanese man is Ammon and Moab. Chinese man is Moab. Thank you. The Chinese man is Moab and the Japanese man is Ammon. Biblically. Now I want to read you a story to show you the history of them. Right now, let me ask you one thing about the Chinese and the Japanese. What's one thing that you can say about all of them?
The physical characteristics.
Thank you. Physical characteristics.
You got black straight hair with skinny eyes.
Squinchy eyes, right? Do they all look alike or do they look different?
But they all look alike.
They all look alike, right? Now, let's go to the Bible to find out why that took place. You got it?
The book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain.
So Lot is the forefather of the Chinese and the Japanese. Okay, Lot is their forefather, right? Read.
And his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters.
So they had to flee the land. Abraham and his people went one way, Lot and his people went the other way, right? So what took place was it was Lot and he had 2 daughters with him. So it was just them 3. Him, Lot, and his 2 daughters. Read.
And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us.
So they get into the realization like, look, my father, he's old, and I ain't got, and it's no man out here that's around us, so that way what? I can bear seed. This is what his daughters are saying, right? Read.
After the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine.
Do what?
Come, let us make our father drink wine.
So they said, look, now it's all going to click together. But they saying, the 2 sisters are saying to themselves, look, let's get our father to drink some wine, right? You with me, Benjamin? Read.
And we will lie with him.
And we will what?
And we will lie with him.
So they said, we're going to get our father drunk, and we're going to have sex with him. Exactly. Read.
That we may preserve seed of our father.
So they said they're going to do this to what? So that way they can preserve seed. Read.
And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not when she lay down.
So he got so drunk. His daughters got him so drunk. He laid with his own daughters and had sex with his daughters and didn't even realize that he did it. Right? Read.
Nor when she arose. And when it came to pass on the morrow, that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also.
So the next day, the oldest daughter said to the youngest one, hey, look, I got daddy drunk, and we had sex, and I got pregnant. So now, look, you got to do the same thing. Read.
And go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab.
So the first one that got pregnant, they had a child and his name was Moab, which is where the Chinese come from. Read.
The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
And that's the Japanese. So they were created by what? A daughter having sex with her father. Incest. Okay? That's a sin. But that's why they all look alike. They got that, what is it called? Mongoloism. That's why they look that way. Because of what they did with their father back at the time of Lot.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.